What if I told you that the smallest actions, repeated daily, hold the key to unlocking the life you've always dreamed of? In a quiet village there lived a man named Arjun who was profoundly dissatisfied with life. He wasn't extraordinary in any way. He wasn't wealthy, wasn't famous, and hadn't achieved anything particularly remarkable. He felt stuck, trapped in a routine that felt both comforting and suffocating at the same time. His days were filled with chores, tasks, and responsibilities that led to nothing but a growing sense of unease. One evening, as the sun dipped low behind the mountains, Arjun sat by the river, deep in thought. He was no stranger to this place. It had always been his refuge, a place to clear his mind. But on this particular evening, something felt different. His mind was buzzing with questions. Why was he always unhappy? Why did life feel like it was passing him by? As he gazed into the shimmering waters, an elderly monk appeared by his side. Arjun had seen this monk before, walking through the village, his robes flowing gracefully behind him. The villagers respected the monk for his wisdom and calm demeanor, but Arjun had never spoken to him. Without introduction, the monk sat down beside him and said, "I see a storm in your mind." Arjun, startled, looked at the monk, unsure how to respond. "Why do you sit here with such heaviness?" the monk asked. Arjun sighed. "I feel lost. My life is just a series of tasks. I wake up, I work, I sleep, and I repeat it all over again. I want something more, but I don't know how to change." The monk smiled softly. "You are not lost, young man. You are only stuck in a habit, one that does not serve you. The power of habit shapes every part of your life." Arjun frowned. "A habit? How can that be? I don't feel like I've formed any special habits." The monk gestured to the river. "Look at the water. It flows the same path every day, carving deeper and deeper into the earth. That is the nature of habit. Over time, it shapes the landscape, whether it intends to or not." Arjun stared at the river, the monk's words sinking in. "So, what am I supposed to do? How can I change?" "Start small," the monk replied. "It is not about grand gestures or sudden transformations. Change comes from the smallest actions. Those actions become habits, and those habits will change your life." Arjun was skeptical. He had heard advice like this before, yet nothing had ever seemed to work. But something about the monk's calm certainty intrigued him. "What should I do first?" Arjun asked. The monk looked up at the sky. "Each morning, when the sun rises, before you do anything else, sit in silence. Breathe. Focus your mind on the present moment. Let that be your new habit." Arjun hesitated. "That seems so simple. How can that make a difference?" The monk stood up and smiled. "It will. Just trust the process. When your mind is clear, your actions will follow." The next morning, Arjun did as the monk suggested. He woke up, and before starting his usual routine, he sat in silence by the river. At first, his mind raced with thoughts about the day ahead, but slowly, as he focused on his breath, his thoughts began to quiet. For the next week, Arjun continued this new habit. Each morning, he took a few minutes to sit in silence, letting his mind settle before the chaos of the day began. At first, he didn't notice much of a change. But after a few days, he realized that he felt calmer throughout the day, less agitated by the small annoyances that used to frustrate him. Encouraged by this shift, Arjun decided to add another small habit to his routine. Every evening, before going to bed, he reflected on his day and wrote down one thing he was grateful for. It seemed trivial at first, but over time, he began to appreciate the little moments that he had previously taken for granted: the warmth of the sun on his face, the taste of his meals, the sound of the birds in the morning. Months passed, and the once restless and dissatisfied Arjun had transformed. His life hadn't changed in any dramatic way. He still lived in the same village, did the same work, and saw the same people. One day, the monk returned to the village and found Arjun sitting by the river, smiling to himself. "You have changed," the monk said, observing him. Arjun nodded. "I didn't realize how much power small habits held. I used to think I needed a huge change to feel fulfilled. But now, I see it's the little things I do each day that shape my life." The monk nodded in approval. "You have discovered the secret that many seek. Life is not about waiting for grand moments of transformation. It is about the quiet daily actions that build upon each other." Arjun had once been a man who felt lost in the mundanity of life. But now, through the power of habit, he had found clarity, contentment, and a deeper connection to the world around him. He realized that habits, whether good or bad, shape everything. By consciously choosing habits that served him, he had transformed his life from one of frustration to one of quiet joy. As Arjun sat by the river, watching the water flow steadily, he knew he was on the right path. The journey of self-discovery was not about making huge leaps. It was about taking one small step every day, a step that, when repeated, would carve a new path in the landscape of his life. And in that simple, daily practice, Arjun found the happiness he had been searching for all along.